After 2 weeks of negotiations, UN member states have failed to reach an agreement to protect international waters. With international waters representing the majority of Earth's oceans, a failed outcome for the fifth time has been widely described as unfortunate. But for some countries, it may mean progress.
I won't say it's failed, because to me, for some African countries, it's a win, because we were able to negotiate our way in terms of fishing rights and funding and support for the African countries, which does not really go down well with some. So for me, and I think for most of the African countries, the situation we say is that because we failed to reach an agreement, the conference is suspended to a later date. And I think more negotiation and more internal discussion will still go on in order to reach a further agreement. Unfortunately, there was a lot of hope after the Ocean Conference they had in June to late June to early July, where every country had agreed that they're going to support most of the activities or actions on this protection of the ocean. And there was a lot of hope that at this fifth general conference, a lot will be achieved.
The last international agreement that there's been to protect the ocean is the Convention on the Law of the Sea, signed in 1982, granting countries rights to fish and explore across high seas. This new agreement was supposed to cover loopholes that have been evident over the past few decades, such as the lack of protected areas across international waters and equal access to marine genetic resources. With over 70 countries already agreeing to protect 30% of the world's oceans by 2030, failing to reach an agreement raises the question of whether this goal is still likely to be reached.
In my opinion, that's kind of pushing back the goal a bit, because we know that the ice seas are so important, is important to the nearshore waters, is important to fisheries, is important to shipping, and so many other things. So if we fail to get the agreement for protection of the IC in place, is going to slow things down a bit. Alarming and surprising that this is failing for the fifth time, considering the importance of the international waters and the ocean at large. It's very, very, very alarming and rather disappointing.
Many marine species are threatened with extinction today, and it's feared that the failure to reach an agreement is only going to worsen this. Oceans also play a huge role absorbing a majority of the warming that human activities create. While it may not be clear as to when negotiations may continue, a deadline has been set for the end of this year, and campaigners and scientists are hoping that this won't drag on for much longer, as the future of the world's oceans is dependent on the new treaty. Leila Johnson Salami, Arise News.